Hello guys, today we will discuss the situation on the front of the Ukrainian-Russian war at the end of August 9th. On the night of August 10th, the enemy struck with Iranian drones from the northeastern direction, from the Kursk region. The attack lasted from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. in total. The Russian occupiers used 10 attack UAVs of the Shad type. The forces and means of air defense of the Air Force in cooperation with units of other components of the defense forces destroyed 7 enemy drones. Anti-aircraft guided missiles and small arms of direct cover units were used. At Syvershchina and Slobozhenshchina directions, Russian army shelled Volodymyrivka, Senkivka, Yasnopolyana, Kremyach of Chernihiv region, Zinob Novorodsk, Saradina Buda, Bunyakhine, Volfine, Velika Pisarivka of Sumy region and Strelcha, Pilna, Hadish, Budarki, Bolohivka of Kharkiv region. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes at Kremyachka and Leonivka of Chernihiv region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Russian main effort, Eastern Ukraine. Russian subordinate main effort No. 1, Luhansk Oblast. At Kupiansk direction, Russian army shelled Dvorichna, Kucherivka, Kupiansk, Kislivka, Berestov of Kharkiv region. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes at Sinkivka, Kotlярivka of Kharkiv region and Novoslivsk of Luhansk region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Ukrainian forces repelled Russian attacks north of Sinkivka 8 km northeast of Kupiansk and northeast of Ivanivka 20 km southeast of Kupiansk. Ukrainian Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Malyar reported that Russian forces have formed an offensive group that is attempting to break through Ukrainian defenses in an effort to advance directly to Kupiansk. The Russian MOD claimed that assault groups of the 6th Combined Arms Army Western Military District seized 4 Ukrainian positions and 5 observation posts near the Mankivka tract around 15 kilometers east of Kupiansk. A Kremlin-affiliated millblogger claimed that Russian forces are trying to build on previous success in Novoslivsk 15 kilometers northwest of Svatov and attacked Ivanivka and Sinkivka. A Russian millblogger claimed that Russian forces are clearing Ukrainian positions near Lyman Pershi 12 kilometers northeast of Kupiansk. Ukrainian Luhansk Oblast Military Administration head Artem Lysoher reported that Russian forces are continuing to suffer significant casualties on the Svatov-Kreminna line and have deployed medical staff of the 442nd District Military Hospital of the Russian MOD to Svatov to evacuate the wounded. Ukrainian forces reportedly continued to counterattack on the Svatov-Kreminna line on August 9th. The Russian MOD claimed that Ukrainian forces launched unsuccessful counterattacks in the vicinity of Novoslivsk, Sinkivka, and the Mankivka tract. A Russian millblogger claimed that Russian forces repelled Ukrainian attacks along the Rayhorodka-Karmazynivka line 12 kilometers west to 13 kilometers southwest of Svatov. At Lyman direction, Russian army shelled by Lohorivka of Luhansk region and Torsk, Verkhnekamiansk, Spern, Rozdalivka of Donetsk region. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes at Bilohorivka of Luhansk region and Terny, Serebryanka, Spern, Vesel of Donetsk region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Russian sources claimed that Ukrainian forces continued ground attacks near Kreminna but did not advance on August 9. A Russian millblogger claimed that Ukrainian forces unsuccessfully attacked near the Serebryansk forest area south of Kreminna. The Russian MOD claimed that Russian forces repelled Ukrainian attacks near Terny 17 kilometers west of Kreminna and Rayhorivka 10 kilometers south of Kreminna. For the first time, ammo produced by the DPRK was spotted in the hands of the Russian military. North Korean R-122 122mm rockets recently started to be issued to Russian BM-21 Grad crews. According to the images, nearly all markings on the rockets were sanitized. At Bakhmut direction, Russian army shelled Chasiv Yar, Protekhine, Bila Hora, Pivnish, and New York of Donetsk region. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes at Kramatorsk, Markov, Kliskiivka, Pivnish, and New York of Donetsk region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Ukrainian forces continued offensive operations on Bakhmut's southern flank on August 9 but did not advance. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Ukrainian forces continued offensive operations south of Bakhmut and are entrenched at newly reached lines. Russian sources claimed that Ukrainian forces continued offensive operations near Klishchiivka 7 km southwest of Bakhmut, Andriivka 10 km southwest of Bakhmut, and Kurdyumivka 13 km southwest of Bakhmut. Russian sources claimed that Ukrainian forces failed to advance in these areas, although one prominent millblogger claimed that Russian and Ukrainian forces have exchanged control over unspecified strongholds in the area several times. The Russian MOD claimed that Russian forces repelled Ukrainian assaults near Ivanivsk 6 km west of Bakhmut and Minkivka 16 km northwest of Bakhmut. Another Russian millblogger claimed that Ukrainian forces also conducted unsuccessful offensive operations near Berkivka 4 km north of Bakhmut. Russian forces continued limited counterattacks in the Bakhmut area on August 9 and recently advanced north of Bakhmut. Geolocated footage published on August 8 indicates that Russian forces advanced west of Yahidny 2 kilometers north of Bakhmut. The Ukrainian General Staff reported on August 9 that Ukrainian forces repelled Russian assaults on the outskirts of Klishchiivka, northeast of Druzhba 20 kilometers southwest of Bakhmut, and near Zaitsev 21 kilometers south of Bakhmut. And Ukrainian Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar added that Russian forces consistently counterattack in these areas. A Russian millblogger claimed that Russian forces also unsuccessfully counterattacked near Kurdyumivka. Another Russian millblogger claimed that Russian forces conducted successful counterattacks near Klishchiivka on August 7 and 8 and pushed Ukrainian forces from several unspecified strongholds, although has not observed visual confirmation of this claim. At Avdiivka direction, Russian army shelled Avdiivka, Tonenk, Solovyov, Pervomaysk, Kharlivka of Donetsk region. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes at Severn and Pervomaysk of Donetsk region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Russian sources claim that Ukrainian forces conducted ground attacks along the Avdiivka-Donetsk city front on August 9 but did not make gains. The Russian MOD claimed that elements of the Russian southern grouping of forces repelled Ukrainian assaults near Avdiivka. Russian forces continued offensive operations along the Avdiivka-Donetsk city front on August 9 but did not make any confirmed gains. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces conducted unsuccessful offensive actions near Avdiivka, Severn 6 kilometers west of Avdiivka. At Mariinka direction, Russian army shelled Krasnohorivka, Hoster, Mariinka and Novomikhailivka of Donetsk region. Russian aviation conducted airstrike at Krasnohorivka of Donetsk region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Russian forces continued offensive operations along the Avdiivka-Donetsk city front on August 9 but did not make any confirmed gains. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces conducted unsuccessful offensive actions near Marinka, Novomikhailivka. At Shakhtarsk direction, Russian army shelled Vodyane, Vuhledar, Prachistivka, Solodaniva, Blahodetny, Staromayorsk of Donetsk region and Levedny of Zaporizhia region. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes at Vremivka, Blahodetny, Staromayorsk of Donetsk region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Ukrainian forces reportedly conducted a limited ground attack in western Donetsk Oblast on August 9. Russian Eastern Grouping of Forces spokesperson Oleg Chekhov claimed that Russian forces repelled a Ukrainian ground attack in the direction of Mykolsk 4 kilometers southeast of Vuhledar. Ukrainian forces continued offensive operations along the Donetsk-Zaporizhia Oblast border area and marginally advanced on August 9. Ukrainian Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar reported that Ukrainian forces achieved partial success in the direction of Urazheyny 9 kilometers south of Velika Novosilka and Pryuty 15 kilometers southwest of Velika Novosilka. A Russian millblogger claimed that Ukrainian forces captured positions on the northern outskirts of Urazheyny, and other millbloggers reported unspecified Ukrainian gains near Urazheyny. Russian sources claimed that Ukrainian forces also attacked near Staromayorsk 9 kilometers south of Velika Novosilka on August 9. Russian forces continued limited offensive operations along the Donetsk-Zaporizhia Oblast border area and did not make any confirmed or claimed advances on August 9. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Ukrainian forces repelled Russian attempts to recapture lost positions near Staromayorsk. At Zaporizhia direction, Russian army shelled Rivnopol, Novodarivka, Olivsk, Pyatikhatki, Lobkov, Kamiansk of Zaporizhia region and Nikopol of Dnipropetrovsk region. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes at Novodanilivka and Robotyne of Zaporizhia region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Ukrainian forces continued offensive operations in western Zaporizhia Oblast and reportedly advanced on August 9. Geolocated footage published on August 9 shows that Ukrainian forces recently advanced northeast of Robotyne 12 kilometers south of Orikhiv, but the extent and duration of this presence are unclear due to geolocated footage showing a Russian presence in the area, and millblogger claims that the area is contested. Ukrainian Tavriisk Operational and Strategic Group of Forces spokesperson Serhiy Kuzmin stated on August 8 that Ukrainian forces advanced hundreds of meters near Robotyne. Maliar stated on August 9 that Ukrainian forces achieved partial success near Verbov 18 kilometers southeast of Orikhiv. A prominent Russian millblogger claimed that Ukrainian forces entrenched themselves in new positions 3 kilometers northeast of Robotyne and consolidated control over an unspecified position but did not penetrate through Russian defenses, and other millbloggers reported continued attacks near Robotyne. Another prominent millblogger claimed that Ukrainian forces pushed Russian forces from positions near Verbov but failed to capture the positions themselves. Another millblogger claimed that Ukrainian forces have shifted the focus of their assaults from near Robotyne to the east towards Bylohoria 16 kilometers southeast of Orikhiv in recent days. A Russian millblogger claimed that Ukrainian forces attacked Russian positions north of Pyatikhatki 25 kilometers southwest of Orikhiv. Russian forces continued limited offensive operations in western Zaporizhia Oblast and marginally advanced on August 9. Geolocated footage published on August 9 shows that Russian forces marginally advanced northeast of Robotyne. A Russian millblogger claimed that Russian forces conducted counterattacks on a section of the T-0408 highway near Robotyne and west of Novopokrovka. Another millblogger claimed that Russian scouts broke into Ukrainian positions in fields near Robotyne and that fighting in the area is ongoing. At Kherson direction, Russian army shelled Mikhailivka, Zmyivka, Olivka, Mykolsk, Velitensk of Kherson region and Kherson city, also Kutsarub, Ochakhiv of Mykolaiv region. Russian aviation conducted airstrike at Olivka of Kherson region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. On the Crimean Peninsula, explosions are reported in northern Crimea. Air defense was active in Saki and 2 drones were shot down, 9 more intercepted by electronic warfare means near Sevastopol. According to occupational authorities, smoke in Fedosia port is due to training with smoke curtain. Kerch Bridge is closed again. Eyewitnesses report an explosion in Sergiv Posad. According to preliminary data, this happened at the Zagorsk optical mechanical plant. Windows were broken in neighboring houses. Drone was shot down in Odinsovo district of Moscow region. Mayor of Moscow Sobyanin reported on air defense shot down 2